Welcome back. It's MLB Now, presented by Fisher Investments.
You know, I obviously love center field. I could see that down the road. You know, I got 9 more years left on the contract, so I can see down the road possibly moving to a corner. A lot of good things. You know, they tell me obviously corner outfield is less on your body and stuff, so trying to keep me out there for 162 games. You know, I'm coming in. I want to be placed center field, obviously, and you know, we had a great conversation about it, and go from there.
And it appears, fellas, he did have a great conversation with his manager, Joe Maddon, because Joe Maddon was saying, hey, it's something I'm going to look at, you know, moving him to the corner outfield spots. And now Mike DiGiovanna of the LA Times saying Joe Maddon said Mike Trout will play center field, and that's that. How did that shake out?
Yeah, that's the end of that tune, right? That was quickly we were about to debate, hey, the corner outfield position not happening in 2022.
The debate was short, it seems.
Well, I just don't get this. I mean, Joe Maddon told the beat writers, who I love, Jeff Fletcher and the other beat writers out in L.A., what he might do with Mike Trout before telling Mike Trout this. I mean, just imagine if you're in New York and the manager tells the beat writers what he might do with Derek Jeter before he tells Derek Jeter. I mean, the world stops at that point. I don't get it. It was obviously a mistake. You know, I don't know if Joe Maddon's going to address that. He's just changed his mind, I guess, publicly.
Usually Joe Maddon's rep is the exact opposite of that. He is a guy who relates to
well, his rep is also that he's a good talker. This time he probably said a little too much.
Okay. Now, I think a fair assessment is, and look, this happened in the last 10 years since we've been doing this show. People would tell me, you can't move Matt Kemp out of center field until Don Mattingly said, we got to get him out of there. You can't move Andrew McCutchen out of center field until Clint Hurdle, I think, said, we got to get you out of there. Eventually, your athleticism is such that you have to move off there. A center field is like being a second baseman. It's that what a second baseman used to be. It's that important defensively. Take a look at Mike Trout's metrics. Now, they're conflicting, so they're not telling you one thing, but over the last few years, he is a negative defensive player. He was -4 last year before he hurt his calf. He only played 295 innings, -4. In the short 2020, that's disastrous, -9. Defensive run saved, -4 in 2019, a full season. But outs above average, that's the StatCast metric, guys. That's telling you a different story. It was only -2 for 2019, and then +1, which means he's league average. And if you're league average and you're Mike Trout, that's fine. The other thing is that puzzles me, so Dan, I'm not really sure, and I'm not watching him every day, I couldn't tell you, but his sprint speed is still up in the 96th percentile. Normally it's a straight speed thing, and Trout's speed, even though his body, he looks like a middle linebacker, right? His speed is still there. So should he stay in center field?
I think so, Brian. And the one knock, like we compare him to the modern day Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, right? He's the closest thing we've seen to one of the great players of all time. The only knock on Mike Trout is his throwing arm. It's average at best. He's an accurate thrower, but not a strong arm thrower. So right field, to me, if you're going to put a guy out there in right field, I would say if he was going to play a corner outfield position, it would tend to be left field more than right field.
Okay. What do you think?
He should stay in center field. He's an all-time great. What is he, 30? That's not old. He's good. He's a good player, great player.
If he's holding it down, right?
Yeah.
If there's conflicting metrics, I don't know what to believe exactly. But if on one of those metrics, this is a more state-of-the-art metric, you're 0 or +1, you're holding it down.
Yeah.
Keep him right there. But again, I remember, I remember Matt Kemp. Remember that was a controversial. You can't move Matt. At the time, Matt Kemp was one of the best players in baseball. I know now people are like, who's Matt Kemp? He's a huge, superstar player, MVP candidate. And then your scouts are watching you, and at a certain point, we might be a year or two away from their own scouts saying, he's just not getting to the ball.
Yeah, we've gone away from conventional old school thinking like that on just about every position. Now, if you could give me, hey, 25 good starts, 150 to 175 innings, we're not stuck on, I need 35 starts and 200 innings. The same thing is going on with position players. You're looking at how you can get the maximum out of that player, whether it's center field, right field, or left field, which way suits him best for productivity for the team.
Yeah, I'm right. And at a certain point, you can't. It's like people don't think about it this way. Imagine putting a guy who's terrible at shortstop. He gets exposed. You put a terrible center fielder out there, you get hurt. So it can't happen. But as of now, I'm with John Heyman. John Heyman's right.
Right.
Look, Joe Maddon agrees with you, by the way.
It happens.
I think Mike Trout agrees with you, too. That carried a little more weight.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
Ready to play Think Baseball?
Let's do it.